That night, in the same kitchen where family memories lived, he stood just a breath away from me, the boy who once called me Aunt. The house was quiet. Wine still lingered in the air. And his eyes held the hunger of a man who wanted something far beyond blood ties. I should have walked away. I should have gone upstairs, locked the door, and pretended nothing happened. But I didn't, and that was the moment everything began to slip out of place. A secret no one can ever know. A night I'll never forget. For 16 years, my journey has been intertwined with marks, a tale woven through time. Our bond is unbreakable. Our lives are child-free. We embark on journeys filled with purpose and savor the joys of a life well lived. Our routine had woven itself into a cozy tapestry, one that I hardly noticed until that fateful night when everything shifted in an unexpected manner. On a typical Saturday, Clara, my sister-in-law, chose to open her doors and welcome friends and family to celebrate the 23rd birthday of her eldest son, Noah. Noah has long been celebrated for his captivating charm, his keen intellect, and a remarkable maturity that belies his years. Our bond has always been something truly special. My dear nephew, the one who holds a cherished place in my heart. Our connection is truly something special, woven together by the threads of family and love, as only an aunt can know. In the absence of children, Noah became the light that illuminated that small gap in my life. As we came together at the table, the air was alive with laughter and a comforting warmth that wrapped around us like a cozy blanket. The dinner unfolded like a beautifully woven tapestry, each dish a vibrant thread, the wine flowing like a river of warmth, and together we shared an evening that sparkled with joy and laughter. Mark, my husband, was in a state of utter calm. He finds pleasure in relaxing with a glass of wine amidst the warmth of family gatherings. At these events, he often finds himself reveling a bit more than he typically does. As the night drew to a close, he struggled to keep his eyelids from surrendering to the weight of sleep. With a soft voice, he confided in Elena that he could use a bit of assistance reaching the vehicle, his eyes revealing a hint of doubt. As I inhaled deeply, memories washed over me, revealing the evolution of what had become a cherished family ritual. In that very moment, Noah appeared, his expression filled with concern and warmth. With a warm smile, he approached his Aunt Elena and gently inquired if she might appreciate a helping hand. In that instant, a change swept through the familiar rhythms of our family gatherings, infusing the air with a newfound vibrancy. I truly appreciate it, dear friend. I conveyed my heartfelt thanks for the support and mentioned that my uncle was feeling unwell. With Noah's assistance, we successfully located Mark inside the vehicle. As we began to glide forward, his gentle murmurs intertwined with the rhythmic hum of the engine, creating a harmonious symphony of sound. As we embarked on our 25-minute journey, Noah and I engaged in a delightful exchange, weaving through his academic training and the aspirations that lay ahead. He couldn't help but feel a swell of pride and gratitude for the person he was evolving into. Upon our return home, we joined forces to help Mark out of the car and gently guide him into the comfort of his bed. With gentle hands, we placed him down and removed his shoes, while Noah stood at the doorway, respecting our moment and granting us the privacy we needed. In a moment of genuine expression, I conveyed my gratitude, unaware that those sincere words would set in motion a profound transformation in my life. As I emerged from the room, I whispered the name, Liam, and gently shut the door behind me. "There is nothing at all, my dear Aunt Elena." With a gentle smile, he replied, "I'm here for you, always." As we strolled into the kitchen, he offered me a glass of water, and I could feel a flicker of concern in his demeanor. It was as if there was something weighing on his mind, a thought he longed to express, but struggled to articulate. "How are you faring, my dear?" I softly inquired whether he was experiencing a touch of nervousness. Once Liam savored a cool sip of water, he felt a surge of inspiration, eager to weave his thoughts into a tale. Aunt Elena, I have a little tale to share with you, something truly special. Could you spare me a moment, if you please? A flicker of worry crossed my mind as I observed the gravity in his tone. Of course, Liam, you can share anything with me without hesitation, can't you? I inquired about the unfolding events, seeking to offer a sense of comfort. With a tender touch, he swept his fingers through his hair, a soothing ritual that harked back to his younger days. He began to weave a tale about how the circumstances were quite daunting. In that moment, a gentle warmth enveloped me as I witnessed my dear Liam share his affection. What a joy, my dear! What stirs a sense of unease within you? I softly inquired whether he still maintained contact. A gentle laugh escaped Liam's lips. Ah, how delightful it would be if the world unfolded in such a straightforward manner, my dear aunt. Between her and me, there exists a distinct gap in our ages. I reassured him that all was well, wishing to brighten his mood. Liam's heart raced, and his voice barely rose above a whisper. Moreover, he shares a bond with his husband. Upon receiving unexpected news, a wave of surprise washed over me. It was a struggle for me to accept the words that reached my ears. Liam, I find myself adrift in a sea of silence. I inquired about his certainty regarding his emotions in this intricate situation, sensing a touch of unease within myself. With a resolute spirit, he nodded in agreement. And I am filled with a sense of certainty regarding this choice. My affection for her is unlike any other, a bond that feels truly one of a kind and deeply meaningful to me. It seems you could be influencing the shifts occurring in a marital relationship among a circle of family members. Ah, I understand your perspective, dear aunt. With unwavering conviction, he shared his belief. In this moment, my presence is dedicated to you. As he observed, he saw the tension reflected in his eyes. For some time now, I've been navigating through these emotions, and it seems I've reached a moment where it's essential to confront them. I must convey this to him. I would be grateful to receive this information. As I pondered my nephew's journey, a tapestry of emotions unfolded within me, woven with threads of support yet tinged with a whisper of unease, reflecting the profound feelings he navigates at such a tender age. All things appeared to radiate a profound sense of clarity and fulfillment. Liam, I can sense the depth of your emotions regarding this matter. One must ponder the various paths that may unfold before us. If you decide to share this with him, what do you believe the impact might be? I inquired about the potential impact on the rest of the family. He took a brief pause, as though he were searching for the perfect words to unveil a deeper tale. Then he lifted his gaze, locking eyes with me in a manner that took me by surprise. Elena, it's truly astonishing to think that someone like you could leave such a profound mark on my journey. In that moment, time seemed to pause, and the world around held its breath. The earth seemed to softly sway beneath my feet, guiding me into an expansive realm of possibility. It felt almost unbelievable. I softly inquired of Liam, and he instinctively retreated towards the kitchen counter. He came toward me, his gaze igniting feelings I wasn't prepared to confront just yet. Your presence has always commanded my admiration and respect. From the very first flicker of memory, a cherished spot in my heart has always been reserved for you. At first, I thought it was just admiration, the kind of affection a nephew has for his cherished aunt. As the days unfolded, I began to grasp that it carried a richer meaning beneath the surface. You are indeed a remarkable individual, filled with intelligence and wonder. I've had the pleasure of encountering. My mind was a whirlwind, and I struggled to catch the threads of what I was listening to. I found myself ensnared in a peculiar predicament, reminiscent of a troubling nightmare or a playful joke that had taken an unexpected turn. Yet, the deep contemplation reflected in Liam's eyes suggested that this moment held great significance. Liam, it appears that you're struggling to embrace the weight of seriousness. At the heart of this lies a fundamental misunderstanding. It could be worthwhile to ponder this situation a bit more. Once upon a time, there was an aunt who found love with her uncle, despite a remarkable 31-year age gap between them. I shared my thoughts by stating that this doesn't feel quite right. Despite the flicker of doubt in my voice, he moved closer, closing the gap that lay between us. I understand your perspective, dear family member. It might strike you as odd, but I want to convey that I have taken steps to tackle the matter at hand. Though I've shared moments with different women, the echoes of you linger in my mind, making it hard to let go. It has not found its success yet. The bond we share holds great significance, yet it is essential that it stays rooted in mutual respect. He took a moment to gather himself, a wave of emotion washing over him, before he stepped back. A sense of stillness enveloped me, making it difficult to stir or gather my thoughts with clarity. Liam, you must understand that this situation feels a bit off. We are woven from the same fabric of kinship. I walk the same path of years as your birth mother. As I entered the kitchen, my gaze fell upon Liam, and I could sense a palpable tension hanging in the air. With a soft smile, I reflected on the delightful transformation of the boy who once playfully crawled on my legs, now blossomed into a young man full of charm. In this very moment, he had transformed into a robust young man, his enchanting gaze capable of melting the coldest of hearts. In that moment, I felt the weight of the situation pressing down on me, and I struggled to weave my thoughts into a coherent tapestry. Liam, perhaps it would be wise for you to take a step back. With a soft voice, I urged him to release the weight of our earlier discussion, but he remained unmoved. Instead, he inched a bit closer, narrowing the space that lay between us. The rich aroma of the wine intertwined with the delicate notes of his perfume, wrapping him in a cozy embrace that felt almost magical. I inquired of Liam with genuine intent, despite the fact that my own desires remained somewhat elusive. Once upon a time, a remarkable change began to unfold, one that held the promise of making a significant impact. He drew near, his gaze intense and captivating, prompting me to take a step back. The air buzzed with an unmistakable vitality. In an instant, I stood frozen, unable to muster a response. Yet I found myself surprised, as that moment of hazy feelings illuminated just how far we had allowed things to drift. A door that had long been shut seemed to creak open softly, inviting me into the unknown. A tide of feelings, which I thought I had left behind, softly emerged once more. With a tender touch, I reached out to him, my fingers weaving through his mane, relishing that moment as it stretched beyond the confines of my perception. Before I could take that next step, I found myself in need of a brief pause to gather my thoughts. A wave of emotion swept through us, and the weight of the moment gradually settled in my heart. In a moment of reflection, I pondered, with a swirl of confusion and regret, what have we brought into existence, my dear companion? Liam, in that moment, revealed a tapestry of emotions, and his eyes shimmered with a sincerity that was impossible to overlook. He confided in his Aunt Elena that the events that transpired were a mirror of his emotions for her. With a deep breath, I sought to embrace tranquility and collect my thoughts, even as the clamor of the world swirled around me. Liam, it appears that a little detail has slipped through the cracks. Your feelings are truly valued, and I believe it's essential for us to discover a path that will help us avoid this scenario in the future. I endeavored to carve out a little sanctuary for myself, yet his piercing gaze ensnared me unexpectedly. And I sense a wave of fear washing over you, yet the events that unfolded carry a deeper meaning. In that moment, we were united by a shared sensation, a connection that spoke volumes without words. I released a soft sigh, yearning to find the perfect words, Liam, I can sense the whirlwind of emotions swirling within you, but let us embark on this journey together to navigate the situation at hand. This circumstance could have an impact on the bonds we share as a family. In the midst of life's whirlwind, it's vital to pause and embrace the stillness of meditation. Though confusion may swirl around us, we hold the power to rise above it, ensuring it doesn't cast a shadow on our daily lives or the lives of those we cherish. Following a brief moment of reflection, he set about deciphering the insights they were imparting to him. With a warm smile, he opened up about his feelings, expressing that it was never his intention to stir up any trouble, all the while trying to soothe the atmosphere between them. Your kindness and support are truly appreciated. With a soft touch, I reminded Liam of his inherent goodness, assuring him that the love and joy he yearns for will find its way to him, even if the current journey isn't the one meant for him right now. After a brief moment of stillness, Liam stepped back, granting me the space to ponder in silence. His face wore a contemplative look, and an aura of comprehension enveloped the moment, bringing a comforting warmth. Your viewpoint is truly valued, beloved Aunt Elena. He spoke of his determination to face the journey ahead, recognizing the obstacles that lay before him. Witnessing him in a fragile moment stirred a profound weight within my heart. In that moment, I realized the true worth of holding on to strength, not merely for the collective good, but for the harmony that resides within our family. Your presence means a lot to me, Liam. I believe in your talents to bring this to life. With a heart full of optimism, I embrace the idea that youth brings the promise of a beautiful future, one that can be crafted alongside a kindred spirit who walks the path with you. A soft smile graced his lips, and his eyes sparkled with a touch of nostalgia. My heart will forever hold a wish for your happiness, beloved Aunt. Should you find yourself in need of help in the future, know that I stand ready to support you, just as you will be there for me. He wove his thoughts into a tapestry of words, wrapping me in a soothing embrace of calm and reflection. With a tender embrace that lingered in the air, he stepped away from the kitchen, leaving behind a warmth that echoed in the moment. A soft knock echoed at the main entrance, soon accompanied by the fading sound of his car retreating into the stillness of the night. In that solitary space, I lingered, lost in thought, revisiting the moments of that fateful night. A sense of unease washed over me, making it difficult to find solace in rest. A whirlwind of thoughts softly danced through my mind, bringing with them a sense of reflection, a hint of melancholy, and an elusive feeling of emptiness that remained just out of reach. With a sense of assurance, I embraced my decision to establish boundaries, all the while pondering the myriad of possibilities that could have unfolded. As I surrendered to the gentle embrace of sleep, my mind wandered through the tapestry of moments and conversations shared with Liam. Amidst the swirling emotions of my loved ones and the weight of responsibility, I came to understand that the wisest path was to hold this experience close, a cherished memory that would softly linger within the embrace of our family. The next day, the individual awoke with a sense of unease, and as I probed into the events of the night before, I recounted only the particulars. Liam was a constant presence in my life. He is truly a remarkable individual. Each time my sister contacted me, a small wave of worry washed over me, wishing that Liam would keep his lips sealed and that the truth would remain hidden away. He decided to step back, perhaps allowing himself the space to reflect on the unfolding events in his own manner. Within the warmth of my family, I encountered a few moments that tested my resolve. I found myself trying to limit my time alone with Liam, despite observing his earnest efforts to show maturity and politeness. The demeanor of that individual wrapped me in warmth and a glimmer of optimism, as it appeared he was striving to forge ahead, while I waded through the whirlwind of emotions stirred by that kiss. Liam appeared to develop a deeper curiosity about me, as though he had picked up on the unspoken thoughts swirling in my mind. He began to weave a tapestry of outings, extending small gestures and seeking paths to rekindle our connection. In different times, those movements could have brought joy, yet in that instant, they served only as a reminder of the significant duty I had to honor. As the days unfolded, the sensation of balancing on a precarious rope became increasingly palpable. I yearned for the opportunity to place my complete trust in Ken, to open up and share everything with him, believing that the matter would unravel smoothly. Yet, deep down, I understood that the reality was far more intricate than it appeared. The fragments of this tale didn't quite fit together, and the repercussions of what transpired reached far beyond my own journey. Meanwhile, Liam chose to maintain a certain distance, yet there were moments when his gaze pierced through the air, filling me with an exhilarating sense of anticipation for an elusive something just beyond my reach. Though I endeavored to maintain my composure, it felt as if the effort only intensified the burden I carried, amplifying the thoughts swirling in my mind. Each time I laid eyes on him, memories would wash over me, stirring the emotions that still danced in the shadows of yesteryears. Yet, as the days unfolded, Daniel's unwavering affection wrapped around me like a warm blanket, even as it stirred a growing tide of guilt within my heart. In those moments, he would wrap his arms around me with a warmth that felt like home. As our hands came together, he could feel the blossoming power of my self-assurance, a silent testament to the journey I was on. There were moments when I longed for him to see beyond the here and now, to truly understand my worries and the choices I had made. Yet, deep down, I knew that conveying that to him would not be an easy task. In the stillness of the night, it seemed as if time had paused, holding its breath in a moment of quiet magic. In the quiet embrace of the night, I pondered how much longer I could bear this weight before it consumed me. The bond with Liam deepened in complexity, while with Daniel, I found a comforting stability that I yearned to preserve. In the midst of a tangled web of misunderstandings, what began as a mere distraction unfolded into something far more intricate. What distance can I traverse in my journey of growth while maintaining a sense of safety? As the days unfolded, I discovered it became increasingly difficult to maintain my appearance. Each time Daniel smiled or expressed warmth, the emotions he harbored within blossomed even more vibrantly. On certain nights, I found myself awake, softly reflecting on how the threads of life had woven together so intricately. As I pondered my next steps, a sense of unease washed over me, like the delicate balance of my world could easily tip, carrying away the cherished comforts that I have come to rely on. Liam understood the unspoken language of her emotions, respecting the distance she required while her eyes told stories beyond words. Though we were connected, her presence often served as a delicate echo of days gone by, weaving a tender tapestry between what once was and what now unfolds. Yet, there was something about Liam that captivated me, whispering the possibility that perhaps, just perhaps, there remained a glimmer of hope for something deeper. With Daniel, there was an unmistakable sense of the extraordinary. His unwavering support and genuine care truly touched my heart. At times, that fervor washed over me like a tide, each tender gesture he bestowed serving as a soft echo of the potential loss that loomed if fate took an unexpected turn. Nurturing him and holding our family close began to weave a tale of increasing challenges as time unfolded. There are moments when I envision the allure of drifting away to a serene haven, far from the familiar hustle and bustle of everyday life. Yet I chose to let it go. His impulsive spirit occasionally swayed the decisions he took in our bond. He recognized that the journey he had chosen was fraught with risks and would inevitably lead to specific outcomes. In the midst of the unfolding events, I found myself carefully charting a course, mindful of the impact my decisions could have on those around me, striving to keep their comfort in mind. The journey grew ever more complex as I stood at the crossroads of my emotions for Daniel and the turmoil that Liam had woven into my existence. One afternoon, as I shared moments with Liam, I sensed a shift in the air, a certain intensity that lingered around us. His gaze held a steady intensity, as though he were eagerly anticipating my reply, and the silence between us felt charged with meaning, almost tangible. The air was thick with echoes of our collective journeys. Liam was the one who shattered the serene atmosphere that enveloped us. He began by sharing his wish for you to feel comfortable, letting you know that he is always available for a conversation whenever you might seek his company. Their simplicity and honesty struck a deep chord within me. I found myself pondering his grasp of the situation and how we managed to steer through it without it spiraling into chaos between us. Yet, in that very instant, a wave of uncertainty swept through me. Is this the right time to pause and reflect? In a moment of reflection, I found myself pondering whether the time had come to unveil my emotions or if it would be wiser to guard my innermost thoughts, navigating the murky waters of uncertainty just a bit longer. It was a challenging situation, akin to a rope that was feeling quite taut. A shadow of worry loomed over me, whispering that the perfect moment might slip away, leaving me unable to seize it once it passed. As the days rolled on, a palpable tension settled among us, each person holding back, reluctant to voice the struggles we were all silently enduring. Daniel, with his ever-present kindness and warmth, wove a tapestry of emotions around me, yet his actions stirred a profound guilt within my heart. The smiles had transformed, now emerging less from joy and more as a means to uphold tranquility in the face of unpredictability. In stark contrast, Liam seemed lost in a world of his own, his silence hanging in the air like a heavy fog, more pronounced than ever. From time to time, we would find ourselves wandering through the corridors, and in those fleeting instances, our gazes would intertwine for just a heartbeat. In that fleeting moment, all the cherished memories we wove together rushed back, enveloping me in the same comforting warmth as they once did. Yet his quietude held a captivating charm, wrapping around Daniel like a warm embrace as he opted for silence. Perhaps he had realized that the power of words had faded, leaving nothing that could alter the course of events. Following a slight disagreement, tinged with a bit of tension with Daniel, I unexpectedly crossed paths with Liam in the kitchen that afternoon. In a twist of fate, we found ourselves in a meeting that took us by surprise, and the air was thick with emotions that danced just beyond the reach of our words. With a soft step, I approached the window, peering out into the world beyond, yearning for a tranquil moment to soothe the tempest of feelings within me. In that moment, Liam softly reassured me, his words wrapping around me like a warm blanket, assuring me that he wished for me to feel at ease with the unfolding situation. The words he shared, simple yet profound, struck a chord within me, enhancing my understanding of the depth of our emotions and the circumstances we were navigating together. Once again, I found myself amidst a vast ocean of unspoken feelings, where each gesture and pause carried a weight of meaning all its own. Yet I found myself pondering the path ahead, considering how to navigate the circumstances and how to nurture those dear to me. This filled me with a deeper sense of uncertainty, one that weighed heavier than ever before. With a soothing cadence that danced through the quiet, Liam's voice emerged, steady and confident, weaving a tapestry of clarity. He sought to dispel any shadows of doubt, assuring that his feelings for the other person were as steadfast as ever. The words struck a chord within me, leaving an impression I hadn't anticipated. I observed intently, yearning to catch a glimmer in his eyes that could reveal a clue to the mystery at hand. Yet, I perceive a swirling blend of uncertainty and unease. In that fleeting moment, a wave of confusion washed over me, making it difficult to collect my thoughts or craft a fitting response. Liam, I find myself at a crossroads, uncertain of how to navigate this unfolding tale. I spoke gently, revealing my bewilderment regarding the circumstances at hand. There's a longing in my heart for the days gone by, a time when everything felt just right, even if it seems a distant dream at this moment. He approached with a gentle demeanor, keeping a respectful distance, but close enough to envelop me in a warm sense of comfort. With a glimmer of melancholy in his gaze, he seemed to be on a quest to forge a connection and weave his way through this complex tapestry of emotions. Liam expressed his thoughts with a serene demeanor, revealing that he too was navigating his emotions to help us sustain the bond we had forged together. My heart was pounding with fervor. It mattered deeply to me to maintain simplicity and clarity. I truly yearned to embrace Daniel and treasure the bond we had woven together. Yet, it became clear that ignoring what transpired with Liam would only deepen the unease I felt within. The tale unfolded just as it had before. Could you grasp the situation and help me navigate it with care? In the residence, a gentle stillness enveloped the air, resting heavily upon my shoulders. As the sun began to rise, Daniel set off on his journey to work, while Liam chose to embrace the day with his friends by his side. In that serene moment, I decided to reflect and softly confront the truth I had long avoided. I nestled into the sofa, pondering the walls that had borne witness to countless joyful moments and shared laughter. In that moment, the world transformed before my eyes. A heavy sense of duty settled upon my shoulders, and the longing to nurture my family often turned the night into a restless companion, stealing away the peace of sleep. In that manner, I decided to wholeheartedly embrace the essence of reality. It seemed like the moment had arrived to share the truth of what transpired, rather than merely maintaining a facade. It dawned on me that a conversation with Daniel was inevitable, even as I understood that our relationship would transform in certain aspects. With a decisive breath, I reached for the phone and entered his number, ready to connect. The bell chimed softly, each moment unfurling delicately toward a pivotal time that held the power to transform my view. At long last, his voice reached me through the phone, a sound I had been yearning for. "Greetings, my friend. Hope you're doing well," he inquired with his characteristic warmth. "Daniel, I believe it would be beneficial for us to have a conversation." With a steady voice and a composed presence, I replied, seeking to keep the conversation alive and engaging. A soft hush enveloped the air on the other end of the line. He inquired about the subject, sensing the gravity in my tone. "This topic holds great significance." I gently urged him to return home without delay, for I knew that a storm was approaching. Once the call came to a close, I fell into silence, acutely aware of how each passing moment lingered, stretching out like a tale waiting to unfold. At last, I became aware of the gentle creak of the door as it swung open. As I stepped inside, I noticed a look of concern etched on Daniel's face. As he approached, curiosity danced in his eyes, and he inquired about the happenings unfolding around me. I concentrated on him, searching for the perfect expressions, aware that my message would be clear and direct. "Daniel, gather round, for I have a tale of great importance to unfold before you." A tale that unfolded between Liam and myself. As I uttered those words, I felt a subtle tremor in my voice. In that fleeting moment, clarity washed over me, revealing that the words I was about to unveil held the power to transform our lives forever. A sense of unease washed over me, leaving my thoughts in a state of uncertainty. Being open and truthful held great significance. There truly was no other path to take.